Hola, hola. Qué chévere tenerlos de nuevo acá. Thank you so much for jumping in. We have a special guest today. In the meantime, while everybody is joining in, we're going to have a regular conversation. Today, we have Aaron Landeros. Aaron Landeros, he's the COO of Edfluence, and he just arrived from Mexico. Acaba de llegar de México. Nos lo trajimos, está fresquecito, importado. Aaron, bienvenido. Aaron es mi amigo, mi compañero de aventura tech, pero no me voy a quitar el honor de que él se presente a sí mismo. Entonces, Aaron, gracias por acompañarnos en nuestro primer live stream y el mucho de varios, ¿no? De los que vienen.
Hi guys, happy to be here. Feliz de estar acá. This is my second day in the Baltics, and yeah, I'm really excited about this new journey and happy to share more about this experience with all of you. Feliz de compartir toda la experiencia junto con ustedes.
Great. So, la razón por la que Aaron está con nosotros hoy, um, es porque entendimos varias de las cosas que la comunidad nos ha pedido dentro de los office hours que hemos tenido y hemos podido indagar. We have realized that there is a much broader need for us developing other topics than just English. Definitivamente vamos a seguir haciéndolo en inglés, and we switch and we focus on developing your English skills. But we have understood that there's a lot more to it, that we need to develop other set of skills. But I think that there's a bigger picture, don't you think, Adam? What would you think is the bigger picture that we have learned? It brings more value to all of us in the community.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's not only important to have the technical skills and the language skills, but also the soft skills and networking and how you can hack that in your way to work internationally.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Entonces, para los que se están juntando, veo que ya se están uniendo y si nos están viendo en YouTube. Si estás viendo esto en YouTube, by the way, go ahead and click on the link. Te dejé un link en la descripción si estás viendo este streaming en YouTube para que puedas entrar a nuestra sala interactiva privada de Edfluence y te enteres. Y mientras se van juntando, ya saben la pregunta que les digo. You know what I'm going to ask you. What did you have for breakfast? ¿Qué desayunaron? Mientras van pensando si no han desayunado o van pensando que van a desayunar o me cuentan que desayunaron, go ahead, tell me, what did you have for breakfast, Aaron?
I have a really good coffee and I think orange juice and fruit.
And
I think
fruit.
that's it.
Good. I had something that is called varshke. I told you before what varshke is. Varshke is kind of a farmer's cheese, very simple, parecido a la cuajada in Colombia, something like that, with some berries, peanut butter, and jam. Basically, that's what I had. A lot of sweet. I like it. Um, so start putting what you had for breakfast. Pongan ahí que desayunaron. And I'm gonna tell you now. Let's get into the topic. What we're gonna talk about here is 5 mistakes that we wish we didn't do. We had not done. 5 mistakes that made our lives really hard and that we wish we had avoided. So that's the topic of today. And we're going to focus on that. We're going to go one by one, and then we're going to have our interactive activities. Okay. So let's get into the topic right away. The first mistake that comes to my mind, Aaron, is that I was not really good at connecting, and I didn't put effort in building connections with people. What do you think about it? Did you experience something like that?
Yeah, definitely. I think something that we suffer, especially in Latin America, is the imposter syndrome, el síndrome del impostor. And basically, it is like you don't feel enough or important enough to share or to actually, yeah, think that you know enough to share with your community, with your colleagues, and so. And I think it's something that this is a skill that you have to develop.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and yeah, just thinking that it's better to be good at something than be good at something with somebody, right? Or doing things together. Entonces la primera es networking o no teniendo no ponerle la atención suficiente al networking. Porque networking básicamente es algo, es una habilidad que te dura para toda la vida, right? Ah, y que te trae y te abre puertas muchos años después de ese momento en el que lo estás haciendo. So networking is so important, just because it's not just about collecting business cards, right? But it's about building meaningful relationships with others, right? Networking is not, it's not just going into to an event, right? And and giving out business cards, as I said. It's showing authentic interest in what other people's in your world are building, right? So, Aaron, can you tell me a little bit about an experience? When was the first time that you went out there and tried to do the first networking event? How was that?
Well, actually, the first thing I did it was to host an event. I was really interested in learning more about smart cities, where I didn't know, yeah, anyone on my network that was an expert on this topic. Trataba de hacer un evento relacionado a ciudades inteligentes, que era un tema que me interesaba mucho, pero no conocía a nadie que estuviera en eso. So basically, what I did is to basically reach out to these experts that I saw that we were working either as a founders or as an investors or as a regulators for this vertical, and basically it was like, hey, I'm hosting this event on this date, and basically the idea of the team is going to be around smart cities, but I want to have different opinions of basically all the players involved. Quería tener como todos los puntos de vista de los participantes en esta vertical, el punto de vista del inversor, del creador, es decir, del fundador del proyecto, del gobierno y también de un ciudadano, de cómo, qué es, o sea, qué entiende por el concepto de ciudad inteligente y cómo se interrelacionaban entre ellos. So basically, from that curious, yeah, from this topic that was really curious, I create this event. I get to know a lot of people. I didn't get paid for this, but years after, I'm still in touch with them, and definitely that basically opened me a lot of opportunities and connections because yeah, I have a lot of warm interests, which is tuve muchas conexiones que ellos me abrieron puertas para conocer más gente dentro de la red y que trabajando en el tema de Smart Cities. Y creo que eso fue como un hack que descubrí, no de manera intencional, sino que fue orgánico, de que it is not transactional relationships. It is not how can I get, as fast as possible. It's how can I give value. And at a certain point in this relationship, they're going to give you back. But it's like not transactional. It's like long-term relationships, how you can build that long-term beneficial relationships for both.
Yeah. That's great. That's gold what you've shared. And I think that when I was starting a bit younger, I knew that I was talented somehow, or I had this self confidence, but I didn't know what was the first step. Es una pregunta que también nos hicieron mucho en los office hours y es ¿cómo hago cuál es ese primer paso que debo dar? Right? Sometimes the first step is just listening. That's it. Es escuchar, right? Cuando te encuentras con gente que está construyendo algo genial o que está haciendo y está creando, ah, la mejor manera a veces de conectar es escuchar atentamente y escuchar realmente interesarse por lo que la persona está tratando de construir. That's super simple and that's something that you can do pretty easily. Um, Now, let's do some exercise. I have brought a couple of learning interactions that will help us do this. So this is something that I just said. Get ready. We're gonna launch this interaction, and I'm gonna say it again. So for you to remember, is that networking is not just about collecting business cards. It's about building meaningful relationships. And now you're gonna practice this. Let's go. Great. Fantastic. I see your answers are coming in. I have another interaction just ready for you. And this is something that este fue otro error dentro del networking que me pasó mucho. And I'm not sure if it happened to you, Aaron, but I forgot to interact to collect information. ¿Sí? A mí se me olvidaba. Y tenía un match muy chévere con la persona, había buena química, y hacía el handshake y me iba. No me aseguraba que intercambiaba la información, pero importante, right? Like, phone numbers, if the connection is a value, what's your phone number? What is the best way to, reach out to you? Did this happen to you?
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, I think there's a skill to develop also. Actually, what I do, because that happened to me also. Eso me pasó a mí también. Y la forma en que lo resolví es, it is really important to do follow-ups. And my follow-up, I block a time in my calendar each Friday to reach out to at least 5 people that I haven't reached out in a long time. So when it's the time to ask for a favor, they don't feel like, this guy that haven't talked to me in the past 5 years just reached out to ask me for something. Así que lo que hice yo es bloquear un tiempo en mi calendario cada viernes, aproximadamente 20 minutos, para contactar a 5 personas con las que no he hablado en un periodo largo de tiempo. Y así en el momento en que a lo mejor yo necesite un favor, es mejor este, haber estado en contacto con esa persona para que no se sienta como que después de este extraño me habló después de 5 años y me está pidiendo algo. Versus, we've been talking to each other the past months, and this friend of mine need a warm introduction
Yeah.
or an advice on how to switch career or about anything. I think it feels more organic and more natural.
That's a good one. That is a really really good one. Let's go ahead and launch the last two interactions of this mistake when you're building your professional network. This one I just said it to everybody that it was how to ensure that you keep connected to the person. Van a tener que completar aquí. Completen esta frase muy sencilla. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to do that. And then I'm gonna ask a rhetorical question, right? Ustedes que lo están viendo ahí, ahorita mismo, es, the answer to the previous one is, I made sure to exchange, right, contact information. Fui a un evento y me aseguré que intercambiaba información de valor, y añadirle el que puso Aaron, que está buenísimo. But tell me, ¿cuál es la mejor manera? De lo que hemos hablado aquí, voy a hacer simplemente una revisión muy corta. What is the best way to connect and build a network? Okay. Attend networking events and engage with people. Avoid networking altogether and focus on your work, or collect business cards and add them on LinkedIn. What is the best way? So I'll give you just a few seconds there while we prepare for the second one. Mientras piensan en ese primer error, me pasaba mucho un poco con lo que tú dices ahí, and it's connected to the first one, and is that I knew that I had built a really good relationship, like this connection that was good, but I was afraid to feel, I was afraid to feel stupid if I asked for help, pedir ayuda. Me costaba un montón, right? Las personas proactivamente me lo habían ofrecido, and I was like, how do I ask for help? Y siempre me daba mucha pena, me daba vergüenza, right? I don't know if you experienced this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is also very common in Latin America. We feel like when we ask for a favor, it's like kind of hard to really big people. Then they're gonna ask you for something also. But when you travel around and start to work with teams internationally, you see that it's different. It's not the way we think most of the time. Que lo que pasa mucho en Latinoamérica es que nos cuesta pedir un favor porque sentimos que vamos a deber algo y que esa persona nos lo va a pedir en algún momento, pero en la experiencia que he tenido de trabajando con equipos diversos internacionalmente no suele ser así. Most of the people when you ask for help are willing to help you even if you feel like, this guy is like far, far away. It is impossible to reach out. Most of the time, you would be surprised that there are those are the ones that especially are open to help you. But if you don't ask, you never know.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was also a big point that I made a lot of mistakes because I was struggling trying to solve a problem or tackle a challenge, whatever you name it. And yeah, I just was like, they're gonna think that I'm stupid, right? That how come I haven't figured this myself? um and that basically I will be seen as someone less competent. Okay, but the first thing that I learned is that asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness, right? And I want you to practice that right now. This sentence that I did. I want you to feel it, all of you guys. So go ahead and pronounce it. Let's open your microphones and practice it. Great, fantastic. Pretty simple thing, right? It's a pretty simple thing, because it's very human to ask for help. Now, what is the? Can you tell me maybe what was the that occasion, Aaron, in which you asked for help and you were surprised about the amount of help that you got, that you were like really wowed? What was that like?
Yeah, when I was trying to switch from finance to tech because my formal education was in finance, yeah, I was asking for help from people that actually do it and did it. And yeah, basically it was just an exchange who reached out through LinkedIn. Básicamente era un extraño que intentaba cambiar de finanzas hacia tecnología porque veía todo este boom en tema de fintech, en tema de talento cambiando hacia construir cosas. Y simplemente escribí en LinkedIn algunos perfiles que yo seguía, and it was incredible that these guys actually replied to me and were willing to give me 15 minutes of their time to tell me more about their experience and how they did what worked for them, what didn't work for them, and actually give me warm interest to some companies and founders that were willing to take the risk with me.
Wow. So like a total stranger on LinkedIn, like directly you went for it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just what it takes. But I think some key point here is you cannot reach out to ask for general things. Like for example, I don't know, I want you to tell me how do I get rich in 1 year. I think you with the specifics like in my case it was like, okay, I just finished my major in finance. I worked for this company for a year. I didn't like this, and I'm trying to switch to tech on these specific areas. How can I do that? How can I accelerate that process? And how you can you share your learnings with me on this specific topic?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a great one. I mean, like, to be honest, and that's a good one. I don't know. I think sometimes that's also I tend to do that. I tend to believe that LinkedIn is a little bit overcrowded with a lot of people like selling, um, you know, like they're selling and asking for this exact same thing. You just get these emails like, "Hey, I'm looking for synergies on whatever," and it just feels so copied and paste from everything. It's like everybody's sending the same message. Don't you agree?
Yeah, sometimes it is true. But also what I did and I did pretty well, I think, is do the follow-ups because it just not like, okay, give me your advice and then, as I mentioned in the previous point, just like, okay, goodbye. See you, I don't know, 5 years after. No, I think what this kind of VIP people or, people on the C level or founders really appreciate is that you actually put their advice to practice and tell them, okay, look, I try what you said, and I have these other two things that I need help with. So when you actually execute the advice that they're giving to you, yeah, they're more willing to help you because it was okay. This guy is not like the other 100 that reach out to me. He's actually doing the work, and yeah, I wanna help him. Yeah.
That's a good one. Now, I want to. That's something that when I have already built a relationship, I have a specific way of asking for help, right? So this is I'm gonna do it as a listening exercise for you guys, and it's I always go with like I'm having troubles or trouble with this project or X or Y, very specific. Like I'm having, it's not like, hey, can you help me? And just opening like that, waiting for that. it's just like in one straight line. Try to put it together. So I'm having trouble with X or Y. Do you mind? Do you mind is an expression in English that it doesn't exist at all in Spanish. No existe el correspondiente en español del do you mind. Porque es decir, no tiene, es como, mind es la mente un poco, pero es como que te importaría, right? Do you mind helping me out? Right? That's a good one. And por lo menos con gringo, si lo es o no, te va a decir, oh no, I'm quite busy right now. I don't mind at all. Okay. But let's practice it right now. You have it there on your screen at this moment. So pretty simple. Type it. You just heard it from me. Go ahead and type it. Put your answer there. And while you're on it, I'm going to start talking about one of the many good things that we've been doing in the community. I want to extend some special recognition to Ariadna that has been taking care of the community on Discord. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, if by any chance you're checking this video on YouTube, you can subscribe to the channel, and also we have a community on Discord that has been focusing a little bit on English developing English skills, but it's coming to, or we're going to start building a lot more things. So basically 3 things. The first one is, of course, professional development. It's understanding how it takes more than just knowing, a second language to fully develop yourself. So I'm going to share the link to the community right now. If you haven't joined, go ahead and do it right now. You have it on your screen. The community link. Ariana is going to be there helping us, understand what you need, and then share the word. There is no charge. It's the community, and the goal of this community is to help Latin American developers project their talent internationally. I don't care. Let us know a little bit because there's a plan. The reason you're here, there's a reason of you being here. You're not just visiting, right? Can you share with us what is the reason of your visit or of your flying and landing here?
Absolutely. The idea is to basically, yeah, we definitely want to see to be the next successful case of building from the Baltics, from the next Silicon Valley, as we believe, which is Estonia. And yeah, it's a big challenge, starting from the weather. But what we believe, yeah, this is the next thing. This is the next ecosystem that is gonna, yeah, that is gonna grow in Europe. And yeah, we wanna be that successful case in order to bring more Latin American people here that they can build from Europe.
Yeah.
I think that's the idea.
Yeah, that's great. So what you're going to continue to see in the community, it's we're going to share our journey. I've been living in the Baltics for 2 years, and then something that we share in common with Aaron is that we were just simple kids, middle or middle class or low low income people that we're fulfilling our dreams or pursuing our dreams in probably one of the most exciting ecosystems, tech ecosystems in the world. And this applies not only for founders, but also for developers. So if you're a developer that wants to chase, their dreams internationally, or even travel the world, or doing it remotely, but you want to, go and be part of, a global challenge, this is the point. So go ahead and join the community. I'm gonna jump into the next thing, because that's the next mistake, and I believe that this is the most important one, and the most important one to avoid. I mean, and it was the one that hurt the most, and it was that, I don't know, Aaron, but what happened to me was that a lot of people thought of me as he was, and I could see it in their eyes, as if I was some kind of like super talented person that could make it anywhere, but I didn't believe that. And I was always thinking that, my place is just Colombia, and not even Colombia, but just Bogota, my city. That's it. And like I can, this is a place where I'm going to shine because it's a big economy, right? Or at least it is, and it's the same for you in Mexico, right? I mean, Aaron is from Mexico, and it was like this is the place where I can shine. And I was not thinking globally. I was always thinking locally that my talent was going to shine in a rather local environment instead of thinking globally. What do you think about that? Did you go through the same thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something that Europe, I think I really appreciate when I was in Europe the first time, and yet that it is that multicultural ecosystem, I would say, that yeah, they build from day one globally and also in the United States. But yeah, I think in Latin America this happens. I mean, there are bigger countries, let's say, but yeah, normally when you start a company, you start thinking, okay, I want to be the biggest one in Mexico, or I want to be the biggest one or the better one in Mexico. You don't think I want to be, the better one in the world or something like that. But yeah, I think it is like a process, or what it was like a process to me. Like, okay, I think I'm good enough here, and some companies in the states are looking for my talent. They think my work is good, so you start to believe like oh, how was for you?
It was quite similar. Like, I started building, digital products some 8 years ago. Yeah, 2015. I had left a career in corporate America, right? And I was pretty comfortable. Y es súper cómodo porque acababa de salirme de una empresa gigante en una empresa americana, pero operaba en Latinoamérica. Y yo tenía un reconocimiento interesante en la industria en la que yo estaba súper cómodo. Um, pero tenía una curiosidad, tenía ese bichito. I was curious about it, and it was that, what would be like to try to do the same things somewhere else. And I always wanted to do it, but never did it, right? And it was the first thing. It was like, yeah, you have it on this list, and then you create a fake list of reasons why it's just too hard to try, right? Y siempre pasaba. De pronto, yo decía, yo creo que yo puedo llevar mi startup a jugar en las grandes ligas. Pero siempre hay una lista de pequeñas cosas, de pequeñas derrotas que yo mismo ponía y decía, no, pero por tal razón, porque aquí me siento cómodo. Ojo, and this is me being fluent in English, right? Um, so how did I do it? I just jumped. As simple as that. Simplemente di el salto y dije que hacerlo. And that's pretty much my first and most important comment on that is that there is no difference. Una vez me vine a construir desde afuera, me di cuenta que no había diferencia. La gente no es diferente. Uh, you know, people, we have this view of, Europeans, especially also in the Nordics, they're like this advanced race of people, ¿sí? Porque nos venden eso en las noticias colombianas, latinoamericanas, es los países nórdicos, right? And you imagine that you come here and, like flying cars and things are perfect, right? But it's not. It's just regular people, right? It's the exact same people. There are a couple of things different. We're gonna share that in the upcoming chapters of our journey. But that is the first thing: is that when you start thinking globally, what you realize is that you know people are not so different elsewhere, that you're also capable, and that when you think globally, cuando tú crees que tu talento puede impactar globalmente, uh, básicamente estás como 10 pasos adelante de cualquier otra persona que está tratando de competir por la misma oportunidad, right? Because you're building for the world, you're not just building for your city. We were talking about this with one of our in an office hours, and that was my recommendation is that if you're, and that's one of the things about speaking in English, right? Is that if you're speaking in English, what do you want to sell your talent or your company in your own country, right? When English is the language of the world, right? Um, so on that note, I just want to say that that's something important, and we're going to have our interaction is that um, our global mindset means being open to different perspective and ways of doing things, and that's something that I don't want to like give the wrong impression. Para uno pensar global no significa que tiene que irse a vivir al exterior, right? That's not what we're trying to say here, but it's just like understanding and accepting that if you have a computer and an internet connection, that's it. You can think global and you're open to change the world. Okay, so let's practice this one. Let's open your microphones and go with this one. This is a longer one but more interesting. And I forgot to mention, if you realize, we just improved our microphone recognition like a lot. We've been working really hard this week for it, so I hope you enjoy. Let's go ahead and practice. A global mindset means being open to different perspectives and ways of doing things. Here we go. Go. Good. Great. Fantastic. Now, feel free to start asking your questions. We are almost over. We have another two mistakes that gave us a big pain in our careers. But let's go and talk and check about the next one. And is that um, it's about language. It's about, speaking another language. Tell me a little bit more about your journey, and how you learn from English, from speaking English. What was that for you, Aaron?
Yeah, I think like as most of the people in Mexico, at least I don't know all the other countries in Latin America, como la mayoría de personas en México, no sé, muy bien en otras partes de Latinoamérica, llevamos el idioma inglés casi, pues diría que casi toda la primaria y secundaria, que vendría siendo todo el periodo elemental o elementary school. But what you see, I mean, when I have after I finish the high school, I have the opportunity to travel to Canada to work for 6 months, and yeah, and I realized I don't talk at all, but I was put in a position where I have to improve because it was a survival mode. Después de que terminé la preparatoria, tuve la oportunidad de hacer un trabajo y viajar en Canadá por 6 meses, y ahí me di cuenta de que no hablaba nada y tuve que ponerme las pilas para entrar en modo sobrevivencia y poder llevar mi día a día. So basically, yeah, I think was the necessity to actually learn and execute what I was learning at the same time. What did that my learning curve improved so much. So when I came back after 6 months, I felt more confident and I felt more capable, or actually my English as a second language. And yeah, after that it was just like actually enjoying the journey, I would say, of practicing, listening, material. So it was like more involved. It was more involved in my daily life, I would say, instead of just doing it in your school. I think that switch from yours like 2 hours per week when I was in high school or elementary school versus doing it 20 minutes each day, daily. I think that improved a lot of my English speaking skills, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
How was about you?
So for me, it was a little bit different because there's something that happened is was that, I this is something that the audience doesn't know, but I had a very humble origin. Yo vengo de un origen muy humilde en Colombia, pero muy humilde. And I hope you share this surprise that sometimes people have when I tell them, what I actually did when I was a kid, when I was just 18. So I taught myself to speak English when I was 12. Yo me enseñé a hablar inglés cuando tenía 12 años. Um, and I was fluent already. By the time I was 18, I was fluent. Yo ya hablaba inglés, but I wasn't, no lo ponía en práctica, right? Like, no sabía todavía cuál era el valor de ello. So it's the same thing. Yo creo que lo primero es, um, no- el que tú tengas algo y no te enfoques en optimizarlo por el valor que eso te produce es una de las cosas que, digamos, te limita en términos de inglés. But two things happened in my life that changed like my perspective on the topic. Joe, I don't know, guys, for our audience in Colombia or probably, in any other country in Latin America, you have in your cities, you have, the downtown shops. right? Tienen las tiendas estas de ropa barata, económica, donde uno va a comprar típicamente en el centro. En Bogotá es un espacio que se llama San Victorino, um, donde no es, it's not pretty, no es bonito, no es, y ahí trabajaba yo en la calle. Yo vendía, pues no tenía nada, entonces la gente pasaba, shop owners, the clothing store owners, would lend me or would allow me the chance to go and bring clients pretending that I was part of their store, and they will give me just a commission for anything that was sold. So I would I will basically stand in the streets asking people if they're looking for clothes. And again, this is not a pretty look. Right now, ahorita de pronto el centro de Colombia, Bogotá está muy lindo, but when I was doing this back in the 2000s, it was not a pretty place, right? But one day, and I was not the only one. There was a a lot of people, right? And one day, here comes this blonde, tall guy, el gringo. Y venía el gringo, right? And he didn't speak any Spanish at all. And everybody was hustling and offering, hey, what are you looking for, whatever. And the guy, he wanted to buy, but he couldn't interact. So I just, like, out of my entire fear, because I knew I could do it, but I was afraid, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna look stupid. I went away. I went straight away and say, like, hey, what are you looking for? And straight away, that's it. That was probably my best sale that year, I will believe. And the second thing happened to me, very similar, but it was at university. So I graduated from psychology. Some people already know this, but in university, I was part of a research group in psychological development. And then one super famous teacher, but like super famous teacher from the United States, Elliot Turiel, and his co-researcher, they came over to Colombia, right? And these are the kind of people that you read books about, right? I mean, you read their books, and then you read people that talk about the books that they have written. It's just like crazy. Son estas vacas sagradas, and they came to visit, right? And this is something I share with everybody. Like, I wasn't the brightest of my research group. Yo no era el más brillante de mi equipo, de mi grupo de investigación, porque yo trabajaba al mismo tiempo, right? Yo no tenía la cantidad de horas para ponerle a ser investigador. Yo era un investigador de medio tiempo, y mis compañeros eran investigadores de tiempo completo, right? So, long story short, I was the only one who was absolutely fluent in English. Era el único que era completamente, que podía hablar en inglés completamente. Así yo no tuviera una tesis terminada. Terminé haciéndome amigo de ellos. De nuevo, I'm going to see if one day I can invite them over to this space so that I share the story. And terminé presentando mi tesis en las universidades de Chicago y Berkeley en Estados Unidos. Me invitaron a hacer un doctorado que finalmente no pasó. But that was the first thing. So if you cannot underestimate this, is that the entire world is looking for you. As simple as that. El mundo entero está buscando un talento como el tuyo. Hay alguien que lo necesita. El perfect match, tanto en talento como en amigos, como incluso hasta en relaciones, they're looking for you. But if you don't speak English, you are just missing out. You're just missing out. So this is another time or an opportunity for us uh, to do some practice with our English. If you're watching this on YouTube and you just don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead and click on the link. Follow us as well. Connect, subscribe to the channel, because basically we're making video engagement interactive, right? We're making it just not a passive experience. So go ahead and practice the next sentence that I'm going to say. It's a long one. Again, it's a tough one. Today is a more interesting session, but it's, language skills can open doors to new opportunities and help you connect with people from different cultures. And that's something that no other thing does. So go ahead, open your microphone, and let's go ahead and practice that. Great, fantastic job. Um, Now, while we're on this, there we have another gift for you guys, and is that um, I think that this is the best thing that you can do, Aaron, is because part of what we've been doing is, talking about professional development, not making mistakes, networking, everything. And you have been working really hard on getting the community the chance, the opportunity to get into, a community hack that gives them the chance, the opportunity to do all this together, right? So why don't you tell us a little bit more about that? What are the recent updates? And then we're gonna let the community the opportunity to join the community hacks that we're gonna have every month.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as a community and as a project, we're always looking for partnerships to bring more value to you guys, para ofrecer cada vez más valor a la comunidad que estamos tratando de crear con ustedes. Y algo que logramos, and something that we just closed like 2 weeks ago, is a partnership with Angel Hack, which is one of the biggest developer and most diverse communities in the world. In Music, we're co-hosting monthly challenges with them, where you can have cash prizes, other perks like software tools, also connect with all yeah with other developers all around the world, and yeah, this is something that we just start, as I mentioned, 2 weeks ago, and we want you to take advantage of it. That's it.
And that's great. And then again, my advice is that yeah, of course, money is there, is important, and you will be able to get money. But just going in there and being exposed, it's like it's a hack, not only for trying to hack a problem, but it's hacking your own life because you will be doing the whole thing. What the five mistakes that we just talked about. We're just minutes away from sharing the last one. You will be able to try not to make them right there. Just by joining and participating and seeing what is there, you will be uh you know taking on a life lesson and putting into practice what we have shared today, that is not making these mistakes, because you will be able to connect with people from I think that we were talking about the other day. It's like we counted it, there are just so many countries. For me, there are countries that, to be honest, I didn't recognize the flag they were from, to be honest, right? And there's people from everywhere in the world, and then you can connect with them, you can make connections, and who knows, I mean, they're going to be the person you're going to found a company with. Okay, so I just shared the link for you guys. There is the opportunity to join the Discord channel with these this is our where we co-host these hacks. Ariadna is gonna be, if you have any question on how to join, and you are in our Discord and you want to just jump into the challenges Discord, you can send a message to Ari, and that's the one thing that I would recommend you do. Um, Now there's and this is the last part, or the last mistake that I made that I would like to. And sometimes I still make it, to be honest. I'm not gonna say that I'm just right now perfect and that things are done, but it was not understanding what they think about when they say personal brand. I was like, oh my god, I don't want to be like this guy that is pushing fake messages to people. Um, so that was the personal brand, like not having a personal brand and not even understanding what a personal brand is. Was a huge mistake. That basically um, that I'm still, to be honest, I'm still working on it. I have done a lot more, but I did not understand what personal brands at the beginning. What about you? I'm gonna explain that later. Try to explain what I believe the personal brand, the core personal brand is. But what about you, Aaron? What are your lessons about building a personal brand?
Yeah, I think this happened to me also, and it still happened to me. I think this is something that we're working on, and yeah, I think it's like, in my case, it was like, as I mentioned, that happened. I think everyone is like imposter syndrome, like, you know, ¿quién soy yo para compartir mis aprendizajes? O sea, a alguien le va a importar lo que yo comparta, lo que yo esté creando y tal. So I think that's something that happened to me in the past, and I was like kind of afraid to share, to my network or in public what I was doing. And yeah, I didn't feel like that I could be like the major figure on a vertical. For example, I have a lot of experience in crypto and blockchain, and I didn't share enough, I think, to become a figure or a well recognized figure in the sector. And yeah, I think what as you can see as personal brand is just like sharing your learnings and share what is happening behind scenes, behind the beauty thing that you're doing. I don't know, what do you think about?
Yeah, no, I think that the thing is that I don't know, but personal brand. When I listen personal brand, right? I hear personal brand. Like I absolutely, or people tend to get absolutely confused. Like personal brand is just having a cute, beautiful, well designed uh CV or resume, right? Que la hoja de vida esté linda, perfecta y que haya un diseño bonito. That's not truly personal brand. I think that right now the definition that I would say what a personal brand is that the personal brand is what people say about you when you are not there in the room, right? That's it. That because you left an impression there, and it's like when people have to say anything about Sandro, that is the personal brand. So if they believe, right, or if they say that I'm probably a sloppy person, let's say if someone says that I'm sloppy or disorganized, or that I have a hard time communicating with people. That's my personal brand, right? Um, so let's do a little practice with what I just say because I want to make sure that you guys have that crystal clear. And is that your personal brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So let's open up that microphone and I'm going to launch that interaction for you. So on three, two, one, your personal brand is what people say about you when you are not in the room. Great. Fantastic job, guys. Fantastic job. Now, Aaron, what other misconceptions of personal brand do you think there are?
I think it's I just sharing about your winnings. I think it feels more authentic, and I have seen this happening more, which is a good thing. To share your failures, what didn't work, why didn't work, what do you believe it didn't work, because it could be really helpful for new people getting into the industry or trying to do what you just did. Es bueno compartir no solamente tus éxitos, sino también tus fallos, porque ese tipo de fallos puede servir a nuevas personas y crear relaciones más auténticas. De que, this is not all about 100% the time as the way as you want, but this is the ugly part that nobody wants to share. And I think that's where you feel like real connections with your community or with people. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree. Like I don't. I mean, I think that there are you know, very fewer things that we would hate about someone that is like someone just rubbing their success in your face, right? That's oh my god. It's just that that's not personal brand, right? Personal brand is not just saying like, hey, I've never lost or I've never made a mistake, so I'm nearly perfect, right? And that doesn't mean that you cannot shine, right? Right? It's more about saying that yeah, you're a human being, you're good at something, but you're still a human being, but you're remarkable just because of that. So I definitely agree with you. Now, um, what else is personal branding? I'm gonna open up this question to see because I created a trick question. Okay, what else is personal branding? You see, you have the interaction right there. I have just launched it. Um, do you think that personal branding is creating a unique image and reputation for yourself? Um, or maybe personal branding is just not important for software developers because I mean you're supposed just to write code. You need to be behind the keyboard or do you think that personal branding is just the same thing as your resume? Go ahead and answer that right away. Um, but I think that we can give you a heads up and definitely I already said that is not the same thing as your resume. But do you think that software developers shouldn't worry about the personal brand, Aaron?
No, I think the other way around. I had seen actually more talented people that haven't built this personal brand versus someone that have done it and have grow like 10x, even though he is not more talented or has more knowledge. He visto algunos software developers o personas en tech que no son las más talentosas, pero que han dedicado tiempo a construir sus perfiles, a participar en eventos de la industria y la forma en que han crecido es 10 veces más que la persona que es más talentosa, pero que no lo ha hecho en tecnología. And yeah, I think it is a way to hack your growth and yeah, expose yourself to international opportunities because maybe I don't know, there's a company from the United States that is looking to enter the Latin American market and it's some influencers in tech, people that share their learnings, people that share their failures and they want to connect with that kind of people that follow them. I don't know. That kind of opportunities all yeah come from building a personal brand.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. And I don't know. Sometimes I think that, and actually, I think that personal brand is going to be, it now is, uh, you know, the big the big and most important thing that probably you need to start building right now, as you will see that your job as a developer, as as AI, um uh, AI tools for developers, continue to improve, as they will. um Companies will start focusing on people that are able, that are likable, right? And we'll start looking more into, what we call soft skills. So this is the moment for you to start, thinking about it. It's not that hard, but it's not as, as easy as just, getting a designer to fix your curriculum. And on that note, I would like to share something that we've been doing for the last week, and I've had a blast with the people that have joined. I'm opening again, um, in a space for you to come and ask those questions, and just talk to us about challenges that you might have. We have some hours. We have put some hours aside that we're devoting to help you on those things. So just go ahead and click on the link that I left for you. You will be able to have access to our office hours for me. It's just some minutes in which we're just gonna, it's about you, it's not about us, it's discussing how we can help. Go ahead and put them there. And well, Aaron, I think that we've come to the end of the session. We're almost on the hour of this week's session, and I really enjoyed it. It's the first time that we're having Aaron live on the camera, and we will continue to have more coming from Aaron. Tell us, let the rest of the community know what you're going to be sharing on the upcoming weeks, and how can they get to learn from you, and follow the journey that you're starting on Tallinn. Let us know a little bit more, and how people can find you in there.
Yeah, absolutely. As I mentioned, it's not personal brand is not always about sharing the good things. So as part of, and we actually we are doing what we say, which is I just came all the way from Mexico to the Baltics, and what I want to learn with you guys is the real journey, just not just the good things, the bad things, the struggles. Yeah, for example, the weather right now is I'm kind of struggling, and because in Latin America it's not like this. Entonces lo que quiero compartir con ustedes no es no solo lo bonito, sino voy llegando, llevo 2 días aquí en el Báltico y quiero que conozcan todo el camino, lo bonito, lo feo, dónde estamos batallando. And yeah, this is gonna be new for me because I haven't been in Estonia. Actually, I'm going to Estonia tomorrow, and I'm gonna start to documenting all the way around. From from where I live, how we're working as a remote team, the struggles of the tech ecosystem there, the opportunities of the tech ecosystem there, the opportunities for you as software developers in Latin America to come. to the Baltics or to work remotely for a company in Estonia. So basically, it's gonna be I'm gonna share off kind of tips and tricks, and also feel free to ask if you want to give me to share some kind of information, some kind of topic. We can definitely do it. Yeah.
Great, and yeah, we're gonna be doing that together. Basically, I have a little bit of advantage because I came here 2 years ago, but I haven't shared the journey, and I'm gonna share the journey. But we're gonna focus on Aaron. Where we can find you? Where are you gonna be sharing this?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be sharing it through my Instagram, like more informal thing, and after that, I'm gonna share also my LinkedIn for a longer, I would say, blog post, if you will. But yeah, we can start on Instagram, more informal thing, and yeah, feel free to reach out anytime.
Great. I just shared. You just saw the pop up coming of Aaron's Instagram. He's more of an Instagram guy. Probably if you go and find me on Instagram, no, that's not the place. So, but we're gonna follow his Instagram very closely. Vamos a ver cómo nos va a contar esto en Instagram. El viaje, Tallinn y Lituania, Tallinn sorry, Estonia y Lituania son muy diferentes. Son dos países muy pequeños, muy cerca, pero son muy diferentes. So I'm also very interested in learning from that journey, Aaron. And yeah, definitely where you're gonna be seeing more from us. I'm gonna give you the chance again to join our Discord community. If you join later and haven't heard this, if se unieron hace poco o estás encontrando esto, únete a nuestra comunidad de Discord para, para no perderte todo esto que estamos contando. Vamos a empezar a crear oportunidades because I believe that there's a huge chance for, for tech builders to be successful in one of the most interesting and dynamic ecosystems in Europe, probably the most dynamic and interesting ecosystem, and also in the world. So I hope we can open the door. Espero que podamos abrir la puerta para muchos de ustedes que si lo ven como una oportunidad de vida, bien haciéndolo remoto o directo, lo puedan hacer. So you're going to be seeing a lot more coming from that. And yeah, send us a message, ask us anything on Discord, engage in the conversation. And I think that that'll be it. I think that this was a great chance for us to, you know, mingle and go through the journey. La pasamos muy chévere compartiendo nuestros errores de cómo nos había ido, de qué era lo difícil que habíamos pasado eh, sin que eso signifique que aún no cometamos errores, pero espero que esto les haya podido ayudar a ello. So, Aaron, you know, you're gonna be missed a little bit. You're gonna be, you're flying on Monday to Tallinn, and you're gonna be coming back a little bit. Maybe we're gonna make another episode together, but probably you're gonna start seeing more on the Tallinn side. Thank you so much for being with me today, Aaron. And yeah, this is your chance to say bye to the community today.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Great, awesome. So enjoy your weekend. As usual, send us your message. We're open. We're an open community. Let us know, what you like, what you don't like, what things we can improve. And I hope to see you and talk to you throughout the week on our office hours. And let's chat and see each other on the next week. Thank you, everybody. Have a good one. Ciao, ciao. Adios. What other thing? I don't know. Au revoir. All those things if you're checking us another one. Okay.